Morning, gang. It's Saturday, the 3rd of August, 2019. Welcome to Television Centre here in Bracknell in Royal Berkshire for this morning's Saturday morning chat show. Hope you all slept well. It looks nice outside. The sun is up, but kind of a bit cloudy, although more storms possibly to come. I was watching the news just before I come out. I'm amazed at I love this name, the Chinook helicopter. Say that together, Chinook. Are you ready? 1, 2, 3, Chinook. The Chinook helicopter, which is trying to build up this dam in Wheatley. Now, where's the Watley Bridge, isn't it? Watley Bridge, Weybridge or something, I think it is. Work to prevent this is in this morning's Metro. Work to prevent the dam at Todd Brook Reservoir from bursting has entered its third day amid warnings of thunderstorms and possible floodings in the stricken area. If you're not in the UK, you may not know this news because it's a sort of relatively small, unknown place. But there's this big dam, massive dam. And it's filled up with water, this this reservoir thing. I don't know if it's a reservoir or what. Nevertheless, it's right chucked up with water like that. And we've had a lot of bad weather. And it's really full up. And part of the dam has fallen away. Now, it hasn't collapsed. Not yet. And they're hoping that it won't collapse. But something's gone wrong somewhere. And at the part of the front of it's all come down, but the water's not coming over yet. And they've opened all these runoff valves and sluice things and like mini rivers coming off it. I don't know what they're called. Tributary. They're the things that join the river, aren't they? No, the little things that come away to try and relieve the pressure. But it's not done much. Apparently, the water has gone down a little bit. And they've got all sorts of pumps there going on. And one of the things they've been doing overnight and yesterday is using a Chinook helicopter. I love that word, Chinook. Chinook helicopter. And it's like literally lifting these bags of stones and gravel, I suppose it is, and then plonking them down sort of in the bit that's broken, the bit of the dam that's broken. And it's ever so clever. You know, this Chinook helicopter, it's got 2 fans on it. And they go like, how do they know not to hit each other, these blades? I find that amazing. Do you? It's going like that they are. And they pick up this thing of gravel and aggregate. And it flies across the beautiful countryside that there is. It looks a beautiful place. A beautiful place. The Todd Brook Reservoir. Of course it's a reservoir. I've told you that, didn't I? Silly boy. And it picks up this thing. And then it decides where it wants to be. And it plonks it down. So gentle. So gentle. And it plonks it perfectly in position as it is. It's just fantastic to watch it on the news. Have you ever been on a helicopter? Oh my God, you would be surprised. If you've never been on one, you won't know how smooth they are. There's no rocking or anything like that. I've been lucky enough to go on 2. I think 2. One in Las Vegas years ago. I asked my nephew if he wanted to go on there, but he didn't show much interest in that, so we didn't do that there. But I went one in Vegas and one in Florida. And you get in this thing, but there's not much. I don't think there's any vibration at all, actually. I don't remember any vibration. And then this thing takes off, and it might go like that, or it might go like that. But you feel incredibly stable in a helicopter. You know, unlike the little planes. Oh, my God. Slightly, you know, you go, and then your stomach goes, doesn't it? Sorry, Chris. We got someone who's got a bad stomach this morning. Poor old DJ, Chris Chrissy baby is with us this morning. He's not well, she's got food poisoning, dear. Oh, and on the day of Pride in Brighton as well, food poisoning for poor Chris. Are you up and down on the toilet, Chris? How awful, my love. Never mind, dear. You'll have to find someone nice to come round and look after you. No, I'm not sending him round. Fantastic watching this going on the helicopter. Anyway. Thank you those of you that were sharing the show yesterday. We are giving out a prize for the person who shares the show on the most walls and groups. So we're giving out a prize at the end of the month. It's only a small prize of not great value. All right? You're not about to get a £100 voucher from Amazon, which I think is Michael Lawrence wants that. Eh? I think so. So it's the person who shares the show to most people's walls maybe their own wall, and groups. If you keep sharing it to the same group, that doesn't count. It will only if you share it to the same group, or say you were sharing it to your own wall 10 times, it will only count once. Okay? Because I can see, I am all-knowing. I have the eye of time, as Catweasel used to say. Do you remember Catweasel? Da 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 da. You don't remember that, do you, Chris? That was an excellent children's program in the 1970s. You can probably find it on the YouTube or something like that. Catweasel. Here you are. There's a bit of entertainment for you while you're running in and out of the toilet this morning. Mind you, I'll be honest with you, Chris. Rather have runs than constipation. That's not funny, constipation. Have you had that one as well, dear? Oh, all these things are sent to test our digestive systems, aren't they? Huh? Anyway, so I made a note of who shared the show yesterday. Well, someone is way, way out in the lead. Can you guess who it could be? Who is way, way out in the lead? So I can see 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 people shared the show yesterday. These people shared it once. Michael Pullman. Good morning, Michael. Adam the plumber. Ellie. Ellie's there, darling. Ellie shared it once. Oh, sorry. Ellie shared it twice. Twice. I can find 2 shares from Ellie. One from the lovely Diana, who had her birthday yesterday. I don't know if she's with us. So I'll look at the messages in a minute for you boys and girls. One from Shania. One from Mike Reese-Ponto. He's not with us this morning, Mike Reese-Ponto. He's doing his gardening, apparently. I got a little message this morning telling us that apparently Mike Reese-Ponto's garden is more important than being here among his friends in the morning. You remember that? When you want a favour, when he wants a favour, you remember that, okay? He was too busy to join me for my show in the morning. You know, be a very different thing if I was about to give away £250 cash, wouldn't it? He would have been there, sitting there, watching, paying full attention. Nope, not this morning. Busy in the garden. Couldn't spend an hour with us all this morning as friends. Nope, busy in the garden. Chop, chop, chop. Doing that this morning he was. So no Mike Reese-Ponto, but he shared the show once yesterday. However, way, way out in the lead after just one go is Rachel Wheatland, who shared the show yesterday 9 times. Well, round of applause for Have I got an applause? No applause. Well done, Rachel. 9 times you shared the show yesterday. Congratulations. But remember, this is going on all month. The whole month this is going on. So she can easily be caught at this very early stage, boys and girls, just by you sharing this show to as many walls and other people as you possibly can in your sad, lonely, pathetic lives. Really, you know what to do? Hover your mouse. This is only for the Facebook people. Hover the mouse on my picture. Right click, or is it right click? And then copy. I think it's copy, something on there. I'll do it. Actually, I'll do it myself so I know what I'm talking about. No point in doing things that you don't know what you're talking about, you know, unlike the politicians do. Right, let's just play that. Yes, right click, okay? Right click somewhere on my picture. Left click, show video URL. Move your mouse up to the little bit where it says www.facebook.com/. Right click on that. Copy. And then go to anyone's wall or any group's wall and share the show. And more people can enjoy the fun. Oh, yeah. Where else can you have this much fun in the morning? What's your choice? You know, the news, some kids' cartoon, some bloody cookery programme, DIY house thing, a home in the sun, or this. Exactly. I know. So that's how you increase your shares. Share it to many people, and then we'll see who gets the highest amount tomorrow. And of course, we will run a running total day by day. All right? That's how it happens. Good. I've got some wonderful stories for you this morning. I must be out by 11 o'clock because I've got to go and pick up my mate's not too very well at the moment. Again, Ronnie, he suffers from terrible chest infections. I mean, right the way through the summer as well. You know, terrible, really. So he was down the doctor. He's got, what's he got? A chest. I can't if he said a fungal infection. Does that mean he's got mushrooms growing out of his mouth? you can. I think there are diseases where you can get, and if you leave them, mushrooms start growing on you. Years ago, I mean, before I started going out, people used to eat mushrooms, didn't they, and get high. What's that called? Is that acid? Acid mushrooms? I can't remember what they're called now. Acid. I think that I don't think they were a chemical thing. They would grow. I mean, how you would know which mushrooms to eat and which ones not to eat because they're poisonous, I don't know, dear. Perhaps that's what Chris did yesterday. Dukey Chris. I reckon that's what it is. Dukey Chris. That's what's happened yesterday. He said he got food poisoning. More likely, he ate the wrong type of mushrooms while he was running around in the forest naked. Is that right? Right, let's refer to your messages, boys and girls. Here we go. First message of the day goes to Mark Jones. A very good morning to you, Mark. There's Diane. Yes, it was her birthday yesterday. She was 217 years old yesterday, weren't you, Diane? Happy birthday. Happy birthday for yesterday. There's Dukey Chris with the food poisoning. Wish him well, everyone. Poor Chris. He needs someone to go around and look after. Any of the ladies, can you do nurse over with with Dukey Chrissy boy? I think he's in Shoreditch, which is an absolutely ghastly area of London. Some very dodgy characters walking around there selling drugs and then little bottles of what are they called? You know, what you pump up balloons with. Gas. Laughing gas. You can buy some of that stuff done. If you walk a little, there's a certain corridor somewhere in Shoreditch, and if you walk, because why did I go down? I was looking for the bagel shop once, and I parked at the wrong end. And I thought, well, it can't be far, so I set off. My God, you walk for miles trying to find this bloody bagel shop, and it's right at the other end. On the way there, Brick Lane, that's it, Brick Lane. And on the way there, you pass all these people selling dodgy stuff. Do you want some of this, mate? No, that's all right, thank you very much. I mean, look at my age, for Christ's sake. Do I look like I want to buy a bag of drugs from you? No, thank you, dear. That was back in the 90s. Morning to you, Todd. Good morning to you, sir, on this sunny day. Hello to Paul and Lou over on the YouTube. Morning, Paul and Lou. Joanna's in the house. Morning, Joanna. Diane Jeb. Good morning, Diane. Kay Bargrove. Can't believe Joe Longthorne has died. Yes, indeed. Got the story here standing by. Ray Reynolds. A very good morning to Mr. Ray Reynolds, who wishes all us pop pickers well this morning. Rachel Wetland. There she is, the lady out in the lead at the moment with 9 shares. 9 shares, Rachel Wheatland. I keep saying wetland, don't I? Wetland's somewhere where ducks live, aren't they? I'm sure you don't look anything like a duck, my dear. No, not even your bum, darling. No, you don't. Some people walk like a duck, don't they? Have you noticed that, Rachel? My sister's one of them, actually. Kirkby Air Show on today. Oh, is that right? Kirkby. Oh, that's good. I do like an air show. I like the Hurricane. Have you seen the Hurricane flying over Lincolnshire? Wow, the noise! I love it. Absolutely love it. Ray Reynolds stayed at the Cabaret Club in Bournemouth many times in the 80s. Joe Longthorne often stayed there too. He was a great performer, and his Shirley Bassey impersonation was unbelievable. Do you mean If I Never Sing Another Song? Because that's the song I particularly know Joe Longthorne by. The story here, as I noticed this morning, Joe Longthorne, it's in all the papers. Here's the Sun's version of it. British singer and impressionist Joe Longthorne has died. He was only 64, which isn't, I mean, that's just not old. It's not old at all, is it? He was surrounded by a family when he died this morning. His loved ones have confirmed. There's a couple of pictures of him. He's quite good looking, wasn't he? Quite looking. He's got the dark glasses on there that some of the celebs wear. Joe was, he was a star. He wasn't a celebrity. He wasn't like a Gemma Collins. He was a proper star, Joe. Gemma Collins is a celebrity. She's not a star. She's not. Stars have a certain decorum about them. Gemma Collins doesn't have a decorum, okay? She's just a celebrity. You know, anyone from reality shows are celebrities. All those people from Love Island, you're not stars, darlings. You are celebrities. A star is someone who's been doing it for years and years and years and has a certain decorum about them. You know, they're not getting the bits out and bits and pieces out all over the telly. He was set to make an appearance at Viva, Blackpool's evening entertainment show tomorrow. It's not his first battle with cancer. Okay, so he had cancer. I didn't know that. He was diagnosed with blood cancer in 1987. Well, isn't that called something? Blood cancer. Isn't there a name for that? Now, what's that called? I can't remember what it's called now. 2 years later, medics discovered he had chronic lymphatic lymphoma around the time of his headline appearance at the Royal Variety performance in 1989. He rose to fame on his own TV show in the 80s, which I certainly remember that. I can't remember what channel it was on, ITV or BBC One Colour. Can't remember that. He made his mark on the music industry in the 90s with sellout performances at the Royal Albert Hall. He died in his bedroom, laying in the arms of his devoted husband of 21 years, Jamie, with rosary beads clutched tight to his chest. Yeah, that'd probably be me. Rosary beads clutched to your chest. Yeah. I have a set of rosary beads that my auntie gave me, actually, Auntie Brenda, some years ago. So there we are, good old Joe Longthorne. And he had lots of albums out. Joe Longthorne, the Christmas album, I remember that, and Joe Longthorne and Friends, the Impossible Dream live album there. I remember him for the song that Shirley Bassey sung as well, If I Never Sing Another Song. You know that one? If I never sing another song or take another bow. How's it go? Da 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 da. You know my name. Ba 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 ba. If I never sing another song, it wouldn't bother me. That one. That's the one I remember him from. But a great entertainer, and he's gone now. He was also a favourite of a very good friend of mine, Kitty Litter, who's a drag queen, also known as William. And he's up in Liverpool. He's got his own bar up there, which was recently done up. It's all been painted outside, all bright colours. We do like bright colours, boys and girls. We love the bright colours. There's nothing boring in here, dear. It's all bright colours. Thank you very much. My calendar needs changing. Thank you very much. Let's do that now. Time for a change of the Barry Manilow picture. Da, 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 da. Looks like we made it. Oh, it's the blue sparkly jacket. 1 minute. It's the... Oh. 1 minute. Stop looking at my bald spot. That's it. The new Barry Manilow picture for August. Here we are in August. God, Christmas is approaching already, boys and girls. Save up for that Christmas gift. Here we are. He's got that blue, like luminous coloured jacket on there. Very, very nice indeed. Thank you, Paul. Where are we? Chris has been in a Chinook when he was in the Air Cadets. Oh, bless his little heart in that little blue uniform, were you? I never made it. I did the Scouts. It's like a poor version, really, of the Army Cadets. Did you do knots in the Army Cadets? Knots. I could just see you in that little helicopter. I bet that was fun, weren't it? Whirring around. We had Air Scouts. There was actually a section of the Scouts that were, and you could learn to fly. And there's Sea Scouts, they're in Putney, or at least one of them's in Putney. I don't know if there's more than one. The Sea Scouts in Putney. There were certainly Air Scouts. I can't remember exactly where they were. And they used to learn to fly these little two-seater Cessnas and things like that. So, wow, you've been in a Chinook helicopter. That is something. That's something. Thank you to Scott, reminding me about the calendars as well. Thank you very much, Scott. Rachel prefers helicopters to an aeroplane. Yes, I think I would as well, actually. They are really smooth in a helicopter. If you ever get the chance to go on a helicopter, take it. You'll think, wow, this is really smooth. You can get them like as little trips over London or wherever you are in the world. New York, Sydney, they all do them. Or you could fly somewhere. Maybe, instead of taking the car somewhere on a long journey, you'd book a helicopter. I don't know if that works. I think you can do that as well. I mean, it costs you a little bit more, a lot more actually. But if the money's there, then go and do it. All right. Tommy Flynn. Good morning, Tommy. My mum had all his DVDs. Yeah, he was very popular. Joe Longthorne, very popular indeed. Good morning to Michael Pullman. Morning, Michael. Rachel's crying now. Oh, Rachel, cuddles, Rachel. You need cuddles. We all need. I can't remember the last time I had a cuddle. Sometimes when I'm when I'm up in Lincolnshire and I'm with my sister, I force her to cuddle me. She hates it. Give us a cuddle, and she's pushing me away. Yeah, it's quite difficult to get close to my sister because she's got a big chest. You know, I mean, massive, dear. Even at her old age. I thought they started shrinking at that age. Hers haven't. Thank you. Rachel can share after work. Yeah, that's fine. Oh, yeah, share after work. We calculate the amount of shares that were done the next day. So you don't have to share it while it's live, although it is nicer to have quite a lot of live people with us all joining in. Share it whenever you want to, and then I calculate the next day. If I have read out all those names of the people that shared the show, if you're missing from there, please let me know and where you shared it so that I can locate it. You know, I'm doing my best to do that right. You know, I don't want to miss anyone out if you've shared and I haven't found it, so let me know. Kay says, oh, it's a fungi. That's different from a fungus, is it? A fungi? I thought it was the same thing. Magic mushrooms, Rob. I bet you had a few of those in your past, did you? I don't do any. I don't smoke. I don't drink nothing. I don't do anything. How boring am I? All I do is go to church on a Sunday morning. It's my turn to play the organ tomorrow. Very exciting. I hope some of them bought earplugs. It will be very loud tomorrow at church. Ow. Ow. Oh, you do play it a bit loud. Yes, because you won't sing loud. Sing up, dear. Sing up. I don't know what's easier, actually, to get people to sing up sometimes at the karaoke. And yes, there's a microphone and yes, there's speakers, but you can only turn up someone so far. Otherwise, you start getting feedback, you know? And some people, some with decent voices have got incredibly quiet voices, and you try and turn them up and you can't go any further. You're like, get closer to the mic. There was a couple last night and they're standing here. Look, you know, here's the difference. You know, if you're not sitting right on top of the mic, you know, you disappear very quickly. Do you see what I mean? And some people are singing the mic down here, and then you turn them up, and then they move the mic away from their mouths. Funny people, aren't they? Morning to Russ Vernon. Good morning. Morning. The Vulcan Bomber. Oh, I don't think I've seen one of those. A Vulcan bomber flying around. Squash Quash, says Rob, from the film Tenacious D with Jack Black, took magic mushrooms and he went down the Rainbow River. The rainbow. There's one of those in Brighton today. One of those in, but there's a rainbow. Rainbows flying all over Brighton. They got Brighton Pride today, which explains why the pub was quiet last night. It happens every year. They had this Brighton Pride on, which is a massive, massive event for the gay people down in, for us gay people down in Brighton today. It is. And floats and stuff going on in the parks, and all the bars and clubs have special nights on. Well, it enters London. You know, we had a good night last night, don't get me wrong, but we were down 3/4 on our usual amount of Friday customers. Yeah, there's generally one quiet Friday in the year, and that was last night. And you never remember. So, you know, I'm walking. It's a bit quiet tonight, isn't it? Yeah, it's weird, isn't it? Where is everyone? And like, oh, do you think it's quiet? Yeah, it's a bit quiet tonight. And then someone says, oh, it's Brighton Pride. And that's why. You know, there is the reason for it. But it's a nice event. I don't do any of the prides anymore. It doesn't interest me. Running around flying flags and standing with loads of people watching artists on it. It just doesn't do it for me anymore. It used to when I was younger. And I was lucky enough to DJ and host in one of the tents many, many years ago down in Brighton as well, which was good. The other people, the one I was working with and his friend, both died. So many people that die over the years, didn't they? Your friends as time moves on. Leukemia, thank you. Leukemia, that was it, Joanna and Rob. Leukemia, that's that blood thing, isn't it? The blood cancer type thing. Okay. Hello to Paul Finicki. Good morning, Paul. Rachel says it's good not smoking. Rachel hasn't smoked for 15 years, which is brilliant. I gave up. Oh, it must be coming on 30 years ago now. Smoking. Oh, a terrible thing, isn't it? Really. You just stink, dear, coming in from work and all that. I mean, when I was DJing, I could easily smoke 20 cigarettes while I was DJing. I don't know why. You kind of associated smoking with the job for some reason. I did used to smoke a lot, 20 a day usually, more when I was DJing somewhere, and I just knocked it on the head. And people say, well, when do you know how to give up? Well, you don't. You just keep trying. You just keep trying until you hit the right day. I was actually going for a divorce. at the time. It was a very, very stressful time. But that's when I gave up smoking. So all that rubbish about, you've got to find a time when you're quite happy and, there's not too much stress going on in your life. That's all balderdash. No, you just got to keep trying every morning, and then eventually I hit the right day, and that was it, really. Never touched one since. Ellie's got a Pride parade today also. Oh, is that right? That's in Ireland? Are you the one in Ireland, Ellie? Sometimes you have to keep reminding me stuff because there's so many messages going past there. Yes, Rachel went to Lincoln Pride as Wonder Woman. Wonder Woman! Da-da-da! Wonder what she deflects the bullets with her wrists, doesn't she? How do you do that? Could I come round your house, Ellie? Perhaps I can borrow a gun from somewhere. If I can shoot at you and you try and stop the bullets with a little band around your around your wrist. And today is Leeds Pride as well, so there's a few other ones going on. All right, okay, Ellie, I'll still check that out later. Good. Something happened to my niece today. Oh, wait till you hear this. Wait till you hear this. So, my niece is in bed, right? Okay? And she was woken up by a tickling on her foot. Now, my niece at the moment is living in Cyprus, and she's on a big camp, because her husband works at the RAF there, right? So, she's on a big camp. And she woke up and felt this tickling on her feet. And she thought, oh, it must be Ben, her husband, next to her, And then she looked over. No, he's laying down asleep next to her. Oh, okay, right. Must be one of the children. Anyway, it happened again, and she sat bolt upright. There's a stranger in the bedroom tickling her feet. This isn't a make-up. This is what just happened this morning. Late in the morning, or early in the morning, depending on how you look at it. Anyway, she thought it was one of the children at first. No, because she's got 3 children. There's baby James. Baby James! We have to drop the word baby soon. If you're watching this, Tracy, he's getting a bit old now. The word, they hate it when they have to drop the word baby. When they start walking around and talking, we have to drop the word baby. Baby James! She thought it might have been a baby James, or George, who's 7, or Emily, who's 6. No. There was to be honest, the stranger was very lucky. So, of course, she screamed a bit, and Ben woke up. Now, Ben, her husband, is a bit blind. When I say he's blind, he's not blind, but he needs glasses. One of those, right? And he's woken up, and very quickly, because she's on like a camp with other soldier-type people, very quickly, Ben, who likes a drink, he realised it was one of the other lads. I don't know if he knew him or not. One of the other lads, and he'd literally gone into the wrong house, and he was as pissed as anything. Absolutely wrecked. So Ben, see, he doesn't lock the doors. They just don't lock the doors. You'd think you were sort of relatively safe on one of these camps, as a bloke. To go into the camp, there's a bloke with a gun, and you've got to go through with a special pass and all that if you're a visitor or anything like that. So it's all quite secure. And it's all like, army type people on this site. And he's got up and very quickly realised that this bloke was completely and totally paralytic. He'd simply come to the wrong house. And he said, well, you're in the wrong house. But the bloke weren't having anything of it and tries to get into bed. The bloke had apparently, I don't know if he was naked or not. I don't know if he was naked, but apparently he'd got changed or something in their bathroom. I mean, I'll be honest. I think the bloke was very, very lucky. It was Ben, and he realised what was going on very quickly. Because someone else would have grabbed the nearest table lamp and slung it at the bastard, wouldn't they? Or if you're in America, well, the bloke would be dead now. They've all got guns and things there, haven't they? If someone getting into bed, just get the gun out and shoot them dead. I think the bloke was very, very lucky that my niece's husband very, very quickly realised what had happened. And anyway, so her husband's trying to get him down the stairs and out the house. But the bloke, no, I'm at home now, I'm at home now. Eventually, they did get him out of the house, and he kept trying to get back in again. Anyway, I think he had some sort of tag on or something, and my niece took a name and located his mum, because he wasn't old. I think it was 17 or something like that. Apparently, this bloke weren't too old. And she got in contact with his mum. So there a lesson. Always lock your doors. I honestly think that bloke is so lucky. You know, it could have been one of those, those alpha males. I don't like alpha males. Do you? Yeah, all right, mate. Yeah, I'll do anything I want, because I can't stand people like that, dear. I just walk off from them. They get on my nerves. It could have been one of those. You jumped out of bed and thrashed him to pieces. Threw him down the stairs or out the window. It could have been anyone like that. He was so lucky. But I do understand, when you're a bit drunk, I don't think I've ever been in that state, you see. I know people that get in that state on a regular occurrence. No names mentioned. Dukey Chrissy baby. No names mentioned. I'm not going to mention names of people who get drunk and uncontrollable. It's just one of those things. But he's so lucky that it was someone who understood. Anyway, so no damage done. But how frightening. To be... after hearing that story, later on tonight, I'm going to leave all my doors and windows open. Later on, I will be posting my address on Facebook. So anyone who wants to come round tonight, when I get back from work, give it an hour or so I'm asleep, creep up the stairs and start tickling my feet. That's probably the best I'm ever going to get these days. But there we are. That's how it is. How scary! Has that ever happened to you? In a tent or something like that? Very, very scary. All right. Come on over to my face. Thank you, Ellie. Yes, Ireland indeed. Good morning to Yvonne Flanagan. Welcome along, Yvonne. She's on the crazy karaoke clan. Good morning to you. That's fine. Yeah, put that up there. That's fine. Ellie's boys are 35 and 41 years old. Are they probably a bit old to be doing that? It's the young lads, isn't it? They don't know what they're doing once they're really drunk. I see it so many times when I've been, not now, but DJing in clubs. Belushi's in particular. I worked for the Belushi's brand, which was a fantastic job for about 5 or 6 years. Various different of their branches. And in there, that was full of young people from all over the world. And it was the Australian blokes mainly. They used to get absolutely paralytic. It was hilarious to watch it. And you'd have to look after them in the end. You'd have to look after them. And the Belushis, for some reason, they used to come along to where I was DJing. Some of these, and there were straight boys, Belushis in Hammersmith, and also where's the other one now? Fulham. That was the other one. And they'd turn up at my karaoke. Some of the Belushi's staff, they were sort of the same age group as the customers, right? And they get absolute. But I'd have to drop them home. Just get in the back. Don't smoke, don't drink, don't be sick. I'll give you a lift home. And they fall in the back. They get in the back of the car, and I'd drive them home because it would be on my way home. There'd be like 3 of them, 1 in the front, 2 in the back, and they'd get to their various destinations. They'd be fast asleep in the back. Come on! All right, Chris. Thanks, mate. Thanks. Fall out the car. I'll never forget one of the assistant managers. He was quite young, I suppose, about 28. I'll never forget once. This was at Hammersmith Belushi's, and he'd been somewhere for a night out. And he'd got back to Hammersmith, and I just happened to be standing at the doorway. And this minicab pulled up to the front door, and the back door opened, and he just fell out onto the road. Oh, they were great days, Belushi's. Working for Belushi's was one of the best, if not the best job that I've ever done. It really was such a great laugh. All is well, Yvonne. Thank you very much for asking. Oh, Ellie's got a song called Chris as well. Very sensible calling someone Chris. Great things are waiting for your son. I know they have. Rachel would have kicked him in the nuts. I don't blame you. I would have done the same thing. No, I probably would have just pulled back the sheets and said, get in. Never mind, that's one of those things. So that's my niece's little bit of worry today. Oh, it must be so worrying having something like that. Nice, easy journey to and from work last night. Certainly with the school holidays, that's made an enormous difference to the road. I mean, not that it is a bad journey coming from Lincolnshire to London on a Friday night, but even easier. I mean, I left Lincolnshire. I left where I am near Boston at bang on 4 o'clock. Well, I was at the pub by 7:20. 3 hours and 20 minutes. Hardly took any time at all to get there. And you go through all this beautiful countryside, and then you get to Barnet, and it starts getting really built up, and that's just not so pleasant there. But it's all right. I don't mind that journey at all, going from Lincolnshire. It's the one from here on a Monday that gets on my nerves, you know. Going from Bracknell to King's Cross is an absolute nightmare. You're all very good. It's only Rachel and Ellie talking this morning. Everyone else has gone very quiet. They've kind of taken over the chat boxes, haven't you? That's fine, though. It doesn't matter to me. I'm going shopping a little bit later. I weighed myself this morning. I'm exactly the same as I was last Saturday, so I'm quite pleased about that. And I've laid off the ice cream and the crisps a lot this week, so I think that's probably helped. Although my sister popped around after the show yesterday, shortly after the show, I was doing a bit of cleaning. I like to clean my caravan before I leave it. You know, so when I get there again on Tuesday, it's all lovely. It's not quite sparkly, but it's clean. I use those wet wipes. You know, those like wet wipe type with cleaning stuff impregnated into them. I use those quite a lot. You know, if it's a quick job. I certainly did the kitchen with it yesterday. And they're like, I get them from Aldi. They're like an orange smell. Do you know the ones I mean? And you open the packet. And the only thing is, them blooming packets are ever so easy to tear, aren't they? You know, you take that little transparent plastic bit off to pull another tissue, like another wet tissue out, and things blooming tears, doesn't it? You have to be so careful with it. And I clean the top and around the taps with that. And I did the bathroom as well. I like to give it a little bit of a clear up, and then when I get back, it's nice and clean and sparkling when I get in. Yeah, Rachel uses them on her worktops as well. Yvonne's off now. She's off to Macro. Macro. What do you get from there? Macro. Is that like Costco? It is, isn't it? I've been to a Costco a couple of times. My sister's got a card, and my mate used to have a card. But quite honestly, I find it a bit soulless in there. Do you know what I mean? It's not like walking around a supermarket, is it? It's like stacks and stacks of stuff. Sometimes it's not even as cheap as a supermarket. I've noticed that. But I just find it a bit soulless. Like that Toys R Us. That was always very soulless. I'm glad that closed. I'm sorry. It was just like a stock room in there. It was awful. Completely different to somewhere like Hamleys or... there's a chain of toy shops. I can't remember. Mr. Entertainer. That's quite good. That's quite pleasant in there. You know, you've got usually got young people working behind the till. They're probably on minimum wages, bless their hearts, but whatever. Ellie also uses wet wipes. Yes, wet wipes to clean things. I've also got moistened toilet tissue. Have you got that? You mustn't put that down the toilet, dear. You have to fold it up and put it in the bin, preferably outside. Don't keep that in your kitchen bin. Oh, it'll all smell of poo every time it opens, wouldn't it? How awful. Ellie's going to get her hair and nails done. Cool. Are you really? Oh, that'll cost you an arm and a leg. I hope the husband's playing, my dear. Get the money off him first. All right? Yeah, so I'm quite pleased with me way in there. And that's it. Good. That's it. Let's do some news stories this morning. Are you on Virgin Media? Well, I can't believe this. Now, I'm sure they've just put up their prices. Well, there's a story this morning in the Daily Mirror. It says, customers of Virgin Media are being sent emails telling them the bills are about to rise by as much as 11%, adding more than £50 to the cost of the broadband and TV. Now, haven't they already put this up twice in a year? I'm sure I might be wrong, but I'm sure they've already put their prices up twice. They're getting very, very greedy, Virgin Media. And if you're with them, you can get out of it, you know. You don't have to wait for the contract. If they put the prices up, here's the story. Emails have been dropping into inboxes up and down the land telling Virgin Media customers that their bill is about to rise bills are going up between £2.50 and £4.50 a month, even in September or October, depending on the customer's billing date. Virgin told Mirror Money that the average rise works out at about £3.30 a month or 4.9%. But we've seen cases where the bills are rising 11%. An email seen by the people at the Daily Mirror reads, "We know a price rise is never welcome news, but to allow us to continue investing now and in the future, your monthly price will go up by £3.50 from your October bill." Oh, that old one. That old one. I remember Tony Blair with that one. Do you remember Tony Blair saying that with the trains? Pay a bit more now for a better service later. Well, people paid a bit more now. We're still waiting for the service. They're still bloody going on strike every 5 minutes, aren't they? But here's the good news, gang. If you're with Virgin Media, the good news is because the price rise is above inflation, customers have 30 days from receipt of their price change communications to cancel their penalty free. To cancel penalty free. So you can go with someone else. And I recommend that you look around for another service. Now, I'm on Virgin Media. If you don't know the story, my contract ran out with them about a month ago now. Running up to the contract, I kept ringing them and asking them for a better deal, and it weren't happening. They might have knocked a couple of quid off there and a couple of quid off there. Basically, I was paying £53 a month for just broadband. I have no television or anything like, and a landline. £53 a month. I looked around, I thought, well, I don't need a landline anymore. You know, the mobile phones are very reliable. You don't need a landline. So I thought, well, drop the landline. What's that come down to? And I think that took about £3 off or something like that. And then I said, well, drop the speed. And that took about a £5 off to about 47 quid. 47 quid, I think it was then. And I looked around and I found many cheaper services, one of which was Vodafone, which is a cable. It's not a 4G, it's a cable, same as... And that was £22 a month. So I went into Vodafone and I signed up with them and I cancelled the Virgin contract. Okay, I cancelled... I cancelled within the 30 days, so there was no, you know, they couldn't say, oh, well, you signed up until... No, I was almost at the end, right? I said, are you sure you don't want to do a better deal? No, we've come down as far as we want. Fine. So that was it. So as far as I'm concerned, the account was closed, right? So it ran to its end, and meanwhile, Vodafone, they've given me a date that they're going to come in and put their stuff in and put a line in, because they would have had to put another line in. 2 days after my service was cancelled, so it was cancelled on that date. Then you got another month while it's still on, but you've cancelled it. Do you see what I mean? You know, although you cancel it on that day, it doesn't stop on that date. It stops on a date in the future that they tell you. This is when your service will go off. 2 days after that contract, that's the word I'm looking for. 2 days after my contract completely run out and I'd cancelled, they're on the phone. Oh, hello, it's Virgin Media here. We see you want to cancel. Can we ask who you're going to go with? I said, yes, Virgin, £22 a month. He said, okay, we'll match that. Straight away. I said, well, why didn't you match it when I rang you up? Because you were still in contract. Now you're out of contract. You've actually cancelled the contract. So we know you're going. We can now give you the best deal. We will match Vodafone. And I said, well, I've signed up with Vodafone. When did you sign up? So I told him. And the bloke says, and they're all clued up, you see. He then said, well, you've got 14 days to cancel the contract if you want to. What do you want to do? And I said, well, okay, I'll stay with you. So what happened is I dropped my speed from 350 meg to 100 meg. Okay? To the normal person, one person sitting here on his own doing shows like this, it's made no difference whatsoever. Absolutely no difference. And instead of paying £53 a month, I now pay £24 a month, or 22 or 24, one of those two. I can't remember. I got rid of the landline. I don't have a landline phone anymore, and all is well and good. And that's stuck for 18 months. 18-month contract, £24 a month. I looked it up. Do you know what it should be? 47. 47 that should be. I'm paying 24. That's how you do it. That's how you do it. So if your bill is about to go up with Virgin Media and you're not happy, remember what I've just told you. Have a look around for other deals. There's so many deals out there. I was going to go with Vodafone. You see, there's TalkTalk. Now, one of my mates, Ray Reynolds, is actually... Ray Reynolds is with TalkTalk, and he's happy with their service. He's not really had a problem. Other people, I get really bad news. Bad news about TalkTalk. So it's up to you. But there's loads. BT, TalkTalk, EE. You can get a 4G broadband from 3, but not as reliable on the 4G, as you well know from the caravan up north. It's still working on the internet up there, apparently, which is why it cuts out. All right? So there we are. Yvonne's gone now. Bye-bye, Yvonne. Hello to Too Much, joining us there on Vaughan Live. You look different. Is it your hair? Well, it got cut on Thursday, yeah. Thank you for noticing. I do hate spending money when people don't notice that I've done something. Oh, dear. Good. So that's the Virgin news there. Those prices are about to go up, boys and girls. Right, what about this one? Again in the Daily Mirror this morning, a woman has shared the hilarious story of what happened when her husband ate an entire bar of laxative chocolate. Oh dear. Something you do, perhaps not so much the girls, but the boys. Something you do as a young lad to have a bit of a laugh with someone would be to give someone a bar of laxative chocolate or put laxatives in their drink or something like that. Did you ever do that as a younger person, I wonder? It says, a woman has taken to social media to share the hilarious tale of her husband accidentally eating a whole bar of rather unusual chocolate. And while that may not sound particularly funny, you should know that the chocolate was filled with laxatives. 12 doses of the stuff, to be precise. I've never had X-Lax chocolate. Have you had it before? I have got chronic constipation. I have to have a little powder every morning. We don't know why that is. I personally think there's a bit of a blockage somewhere, but I don't want to open you. I have a look. I have some more pills. That's what the doctor said. You go in, I have a bottle of pills. Go and have those. That'll be better. I've got a problem with the knee. Whenever I've got in with my knee problem, I've got pain in my knee sometimes. Generally after cycling, I have some pills. There you go. They'd be better after that. And it's all right for a while, and it comes back again. No one wants to take an X-ray or something like that. This lady's in Minnesota, and she wrote, so last night my husband took some X-Lax. Then this morning, some SHI started going down. Literally. He said the level of diarrhea that hit him was so violent, he immediately knew there was something wrong. That's like that powder you have, before you have the colonoscopy with the camera going up. They give you powder for that, don't you? You have it. Half hour later, you are running to that toilet, dear. It's awful. Awful. He looked at the packaging and realised that when it said to eat 1 to 2 squares, it meant the tiny squares, not the entire block. Abby did the only thing she could and called Poison Control to ask for advice on how to help her partner, but she had a bit of trouble getting through the call. I literally can't stop laughing, she recalls. Couldn't stop laughing. The guy on the other end probably thought it was a prank call. I swear to God, I hope they record the calls and enjoy that one at the staff meeting later on. Because even thinking about me trying to explain that to my 39-year-old husband just ate a whole brick of X-Lax is making me wheeze. Yeah, there's something to do to your husbands and wives, boys and girls. When they upset you, get them a nice bar of chocolate, take it out of the X-Lax wrapper and put it in a Cadbury's Dairy Milk wrapper or something. There you go, there's a little present for you. And then just sit back and enjoy the amusement. Oh dear. She said the guy was like, the biggest risks are cramping, dehydration and nappy rash. Nappy rash, she said. I wasn't ready for this dude to come at me with nappy rash. I completely lost it and laughed. My husband was so annoyed from the bathroom, of course. The Poison Control guy kept chuckling and going, oh dear, oh dear. So there's a little idea for you, boys and girls, if you want some fun this afternoon. Okay, all right. Let's do today's birthdays, boys and girls. Happy birthday on this Saturday, the 3rd of August. 2018 to Ice Ice Baby. Ice Hester. Good morning, Ice. 47 years old today. Happy birthday to you, my dear. Tom Wallace, it's his birthday today. Happy birthday to you, Tom. Will McIntyre. Good morning, Will. I can't believe how quickly the year passes and another birthday comes around. There's certain people, for some reason, not particularly close people, but when I see their names, I suddenly think, oh my God, another whole year has gone past. And Will's one of them, actually. Another one is he was young anyway, a young DJ friend of mine. Oh God, I can't remember his name now. Oh, his name's gone right out of my head. But if his name came round again, oh Lord. He started off as a little sound boy in heaven where I was DJing, and he started DJing. He's become quite a big DJ on in the clubs in and around London. I can't remember his name now. But Will McIntyre, he's another one of the people. I worked with him at Belushi's in London Bridge, where we had such laughs down there, as I say, with Belushi's. Happy birthday to you, Will. He's in Australia. And Richard Appleton Jones is birthday as well. Good morning, Richard. Nice to see your little face come up. Here is the song. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday, happy birthday, happy birthday to you. I'm still trying to think of that youngish. He's got to be approaching 30 now, 27, 28 maybe. Can't think of his name for the life of no. He's got to be 30 now. Oh, what's his name? I'm not going to remember. No, I'm not going to remember. Never mind. Joanna, please don't sing. I'm sorry, Joanna. We have to sing, dear. We can't hold back, my dear. We can't hold back. Weird Cities is joining us right at the end of the show today. Where have you been, dear? Do try and keep up. Thanks ever so much for joining us on this Saturday morning, gang. Don't forget, share the show to as many different places as you can, and you'll get a point. Here's the running total. Look at Rachel. Way in the lead. Way in the lead. She's got like 4 times. And we've only had day 1. So there you go, all right? Have a lovely Saturday. Thanks ever so much for joining us. And I'll see you again very soon. Bye-bye now.